What do you think about? Let me ask you this. 'Cause I just popped in my head. You seem to be. You're an old school guy. I mean, you came up in an era when you tried to get a hit. I mean, that was the whole thing. Advanced runners, get a hit, go opposite field. Do what it takes to get on base. What do you think about the game today? I mean, today it seems like it's all swing for the fences. They don't care if you strike out 200 times. I mean, if you hit 50 home runs, you're a millionaire. I mean, and to me, that's not really baseball. But what do you think about that?
You're exactly correct. That it's more. Again, it's entertainment. So you're walking up there as a hitter, and you're supposed to hit 30 or 40 home runs. That's all they're talking about before the season even starts.
Right.
So you're living up to whatever you've been hyped up to be, and that's your specialty. That's what you're supposed to do. And the game is not really. I mean, if you ask a player if it came between a win and loss as to whether or not he would give up what his strength would be, I would say that he would probably give up his strength to move a runner or to do something positive for the game and impact the game, except just by doing it on one swing.
Right.
I would say the majority of players would do that. Then you got other people that would not, who don't really give a rip.
Right.
But, that depends on what year their contract it is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask it this way. I hear what you're saying, but let me ask it this way. And Joseph and I have had some spirited discussions about this. But all right, let's say you're a power hitter. Okay, you're a left-handed power hitter. Okay, and you're a home run type guy. Okay. Today, they're going to put the shift on you, right? I mean, they're going to move everybody to the right side of the field, right? And put that short guy in right field. They're going to leave the left side of the field completely open, all right? So why do these guys keep trying to hit into the shift? In other words, if you bunt the ball down the third base line 4 times, you're going to go 4 for 4. And if they don't break the shift, do it again the next night. Now you're 8 for 8. I mean, you may hit 500. Yeah, you're not going to hit 50 home runs, but will they not do that? I mean, why not?
Well, let's see. I'll try to figure out an example. Let's say if you asked first person that comes to my mind, Mark McGuire, or let's say Canseco, or let's say, those two are just the ones that just come to my head. Or you ask Big Papi to lay down a bunt. That ain't happening. So, I mean, first of all, it's dangerous, probably. And, you might take one in the hand or something, but
let's try now.
And there's thought process to really break it down. There's a thought process that baseball being such a game of superstition, or that's the best word I can say for you right now. But if I change my swing one at bat, and then I don't, let's say they move the shift and take it to the other side of the field, and I go for 20, I'm going to blame it on the fact that I changed my swing.
Yeah.
Because your swing is your swing is your swing.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
And the only thing that you're doing differently is looking for a depth on a pitch, or you're looking for a particular pitch. Your swing's still the same. If you hit it out front a little bit, it's going to be pulled. If you hit it back in the strike zone a little bit, it's going to go the other way.
Right.
So it's so much feel that is involved once you put your feet in the box. It's so much feel that it can cause issues. And you go for 30 real quick, man. That's just a week.
Yeah.
Trust me.
That's a great.
Did it several times.
That's an underrated point too about bunting being a skill. People just think, just ask him to lay out a bunt. Well, it's not so easy. It's a skill that has to be honed, and when you face live pitching.
Oh yeah, no, it's not. I mean, even if you know how to do it, it's still, it's still a bit scary. And that's one of the things that I always tried to, I always had the thought process. And when I taught, I don't know if you remember this, I feel like if you cannot bunt, you cannot hit.
Right.
And if you're a good bunter, then you're going to be able to track balls better. And I always liked, I used to use the old approach. Wade Boggs, when he was in a slump, he'd go out and he'd bunt 100 to the right side, 100 to the left side, first base side, third base side, however you want to say it. And, if you can't bunt, you're really not that well-rounded a hitter. I took pride in that, man.
Yeah. No,
I only hit one bunt in 15 years. One.
Well,
I was only asked 10 times though, but 9 out of 10, come on.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty good. I mean, and I think you really, I mean, the gem, one of the gems that you just told us, and you tell us a lot of them, but that's a great point that I never really thought of, that your swing is your swing is your swing, and if you try to start changing it, like you said, you go for 30 and right away you're below the Mendoza line before you know it.
And then you go to your A, B, C, D swing, then you go to E, F, G, on down the line,
Right.
A, B, C, D, F, G, H, elemental P.
Right.
Yeah.
And sudden you're Cal Ripken changing your stance every day.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah. So one of the last things here, talking about the bracket and kind of, we touched a little bit on the way the game has changed. One thing that stands out to me from this bracket is kind of the old school managers that these teams had, right? You got Joe Torre, Bobby Cox, guys like Jimmy Leland, Tony La Russa. Whereas today, those are pretty much a dying breed. Now you've got kind of the shift to former players or guys that have just recently been out of the game, and the lineup or day-to-day operations are more controlled by the front office. You got a guy coming down from upstairs, basically handing the manager the lineup based on the statistics they've ran in their computer. What's your take on that whole deal and kind of where the game's going in terms of the shift from managerial instinct to just statistics?
Well, I mean, it's first of all, you make my jaws and my lips feel good when you start talking about, making me slobber thinking about the old school, Jim Leland's, the Torreys, that sort of stuff. Those are guys,
right?
Like you don't see that guy anymore.
No.
It's like you said, the lineup's pretty much being handed to you.
Yeah.
And it's become more of a more personable, situation. Alex Cora getting along with his guys.
Yeah.
Other managers, you're getting along with your fellas. Because if the guys are mad at you, they're not going to play for you. I mean, they're going to play for you, but they're not really.
Right.
They're not playing for you.
Yeah.
I would agree. It's just getting a little bit. It's getting a little bit friendly. I mean,
that's a good way to describe it. Yeah.
When Jim Leland spoke to me, the first words that he said to me, I only spoke to him twice. One was when he wanted to look at my hands to see if I had been doing my work. He just, let me look at your hands, Cameron. Turn them over. There it was. He didn't say nice job or whatever. He just walked away. That was it. He wasn't there to make friends.
Right.
So it was. He wanted to know what you were doing. He wanted to know what you were thinking too. I had my last session with him resulted in me being, not making the 40-man that year. But he just wanted to know what's on your mind and whether you're ready to work. The old school hard guys.
Right.
Now, Tony Russo got along with his players also, but,
right.
It's, you see that intensity. The statistics and everything is definitely coming into the game. When we go back to Bill James, Oakland and everything coming in together with that and moving on to Boston. And, that has become infectious, which it is. I mean, you got to think about that.
Right.
For sure. And it's become an art, just like stealing signs became an art, even though it was done for 100 years.
Yeah. The Houston Astros were the ones who benefited the most from COVID-19 in the baseball world because it took the focus off them.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
exactly.
Those guys would have taken multiple pitches to the head if there would have never been COVID-19, probably.
Yeah.